on top here. It's time for the pre-ban phase. It's match 2, set 1. Gentlemen, over to you.
All right, pre-ban phase. We are probably going to see a Ragdoll pre-ban. And on the side of SAPYN, I would love to see something like a Hathor being pre-ban. Or if you prepare against a Hathor as ZERPOLITA, maybe something like Oberon. Because Oberon is definitely something to think about when you have your Artemil and Ragdoll. Definitely the Oberon pre-ban. And there's the Amelia pre-ban on the side of SAPYN. That is very interesting. He says, I want to go crowd control against you. You are not going to take any turns.
Yeah, and he says, I don't also care about your Ragdoll. I am prepared. And we know that Ragdoll is tuned down a little bit this year, and he's definitely ready for it. ZERPOLITA also not wasting any time, responding to that Hathor with a quick Ciara and Josephine. And we see, what are we seeing from SAPYN? We see flexes of unawakened level 1 LD net 5s. He's showing off a little bit.
He said, these are monsters I'm not going to bring to the table this prelim. I don't even have to level them up yet. All my focus is on this tournament. And we also see Tyranius being taken away from ZERPOLITA together with the Ganymede. Tyranius, Ganymede also being very well synchronized together, and the Hathor and Ganymede also. But the team together, let's see how the last 2 picks are going to go for SAPYN. We also saw ZERPOLITA picking really quickly, answering really quickly with the Hathor pick, with the Ciara and the Josephine. He did his homework, but now he definitely has to think about it.
We see the first Antares of the tournament, and last year he has made a huge impact, especially in the World Final stage, and this is the first time we're going to be seeing him. But SAPYN is quick to answer that with a Bulwark, quite possibly. The Bulwark is going to be a great pick against the Antares and the Josephine, meaning that he will most likely let those 2 units through. Let's see what he rounds off his draft with. It's a Tessarion, once again a counter to the 3 units coming in from ZERPOLITA, and it's a strong unit against Ciara as well, thanks to the elemental advantage.
Yeah, I really like the picks and bans on the side, the picks on the side of SAPYN, showing a lot of control, but also sustain and some damage. So if you want to ban out the Bulwark, there's still Gany Hathor that, even though you have Juno and the Josephine on the board, it's still going to be really hard to deal with. So he pairs it up with the Wusa, which is, well, maybe a must ban.
That could be a must ban, but it also kind of signals that Bulwark might be taken out of the game, but that would leave the Gany Hathor combo up, and we know how much of a pain that can be for ZERPOLITA.
Yeah, that is a very good point. It is quite hard to be in that stretch. So there is indeed the Wusa pre-ban, and there is a Tessarion ban on the side of SAPYN. So what we're gonna see is Gany Hathor action, and we are all very excited to see some Gany Hathor action. Is this Josephine, is this Juno, together with the Antares, enough to deal with this? And seeing last year's World Finals, it was Antares powered by Google Play. We're gonna see Antares the same way or not.
Oh my god, that is a very speedy Juno. We usually see Junos a bit slower than Ganymede, even though she's paired up with a 24 speed lead. It's still very, very respectable that she is outspeeding.
Oh wow, there is dots on 3 monsters right here. Probably, is it a Swift Juno, do you think? Or maybe it's on the spare, but definitely taking first turn and setting the team up. It is a very fast team on the side of ZERPOLITA. Having the Ciara being able to take away, or at least stunning the Gany right here. He does get the stun. Then the Hathor here with the 3rd skill and sleeping everyone, waking up the Josephine.
Yes, exactly. And Bulwark is on max stacks, but he is sleeping right now. The Gany proc can be huge. Will he choose to reset the Hathor? Yes, of course he does. And we see Tyranius landing a crucial stun on Josephine. Josephine will have 2 more cooldown on her S3 thanks to that stun. Never mind, I take it back.
Oh, there's some huge procs here again. So we saw the Despair proc on the Juno, which is a pretty big one, and then also some damage on the Juno, because that is artifact-based Juno. Not that much. It was 1k per hit. but it wasn't pre-artifact Juno anymore.
And 1k per hit might signal that it could be a very, very tanky Juno, and we saw how fast she was. You can see that she's cycling turns and not letting the enemy team take a turn, and this Ganymede is done.
Wow, the Ganymede is already done. That is some very fast runes on the side of ZERPOLITA. With the Josephine and the Juno and also the Sierra being faster than the monsters of SAPYN, still packing up some Violent set and a Despair set, so definitely well-runed monsters right here.
And a proc from Josephine. She lands the stun in the second try. That is a huge one. The Bulwark is having a very sad game so far. He hasn't been able to take a single turn even though he's at max stacks, and this is gonna be his first turn. Choosing to go for Josephine, taking 50% of her HP and giving it to his allies. That puts all of his team back in full HP, but it's still ZERPOLITA's speed showing up. And this Josephine is a crazy one. She is taking 2 turns almost every turn.
Yeah, she is. And what is also a very unhappy monster right here is the Antares, because SAPYN is just not taking a lot of turns, which means Antares is not getting a lot of turns with his passive. Here he gets the first one. It is a violent Antares, very interesting, and it already got a first proc. And with the speed debuff on the side of Taranyes, that Taranyes is not getting a lot of turns.
Yes, ZERPOLITA is taking a page out of Lest's book. We saw Lest with the crazy high efficiency violent Antares last year, and it brought him the victory in the where it mattered the most, in the World Finals. And that Taranyes has lost his first life and soon might lose the second one.
Yeah, he just needs one Despair proc on the side of Taranyes and it is over already. Or maybe the stun with the first kill of Josephine, because this Sierra is cycling and this Sierra already almost has her third skill up again.
God.
And that would be the end of Taranyes.
Yes, indeed, and ZERPOLITA is currently Conqueror 2, but that is a G3's Josephine if I've ever seen one, landing all the stuns almost and proccing each turn, and this proc is not even that much needed, but it is going to be sealing the game for ZERPOLITA. Match 1 is going to ZERPOLITA and it's going to be 0-1, and SAPYN has to do something to be able to combat Zerpo.
ZERPOLITA just, I mean, you said it there yourselves, the rune game was so strong. I mean, SAPYN couldn't get a turn in there, TGP.
Yeah, that was very interesting. You look at the stars that these players show right now. SAPYN shows 3 red stars, Guardian 3, and ZERPOLITA 2 yellow stars. But looking at the speed tuning, at the synchronization, it looks as if they switched around these stars. ZERPOLITA showing how well his monsters are runed. Definitely not someone to take for granted right here. And that paired up with the Artemil and the Ragdoll. Wow, impressive.
Really impressive. I mean, ulti as well. I think it just goes to show that if you at this level, if you cannot get the turns, you cannot do anything in this competition.
I totally agree with that, and we know that ZERPOLITA has units such as Artemil and Ragdoll, but in this first game he's saying, I don't need those LD net 5s. I'm just gonna wreck you with my regular net 5s. That Juno showing up big time, and let's see if he will be able to make it through in the second game.
Yeah, let's see if we see this one again. This Josephine was a big pain in the ass, big pain on the side of ZERPOLITA, and SAPYN has to adjust. He has to definitely show something else. With the Hathor Gani not being fast enough to have big of an impact. I think this was one of the first games where Gani Hathor was led through, but then not really having much of an impact. So that's very interesting and very well done by ZERPOLITA. We see a Juno pre-ban. She did so much work there and really respecting how strong, how well she's runed. So no Juno this game. Wedjat also taken out. We haven't seen Wedjat on the field of SAPYN yet. He showed 2 other 5-star level 1 monsters, but it wasn't Wedjat. So ZERPOLITA did his homework, knows that SAPYN has the Wedjat.
We're gonna see Gani Hathor coming in from SAPYN once again, but this time there won't be the crazy Juno to respond, but I would really like to see a Josephine coming in from ZERPOLITA's side. Josephine paired up with that Juno did so much work last game, and yeah, we see the Amelia that was pre-banned last game and Josephine, 2 great answers to this Gani Hathor picks.
Two really great answers. Also picking away the Amelia on the side of SAPYN, probably showing is there going to be a bulwark on your side? Otherwise, I might pick it. I also still have my Ragdoll and my Artemil, so you have to adjust to these monsters as well. We see the Oberon right here, power play.
And the
we see the Bastet. Wow.
SAPYN is going in for the aggression. He doesn't want to rely just on that Genny Hathor play because we saw last game that that wasn't paying off so much. So he's bringing in the heat with the Bastet and Oberon picks. Very, very aggressive, but Oberon, as we said, brings also the Ventilate and some utility with that.
Yeah, a lot of utility to go with that. There's two Ventilates on the board. There is Bastet, there is Hathor. This is gonna be a lot of damage. So there's Antares and the Molly. I really like the Molly in this field, but only if there's not another threat on the side of SAPYN. Because if you have Oberon plus another first turn monster, first turn nuking monster, then you are only relying on the glancing passive, and you're probably not gonna be able to hold your hand. Molly's not gonna be able to hold your hand till the end game with the big heals. So there is the Pisama showing I wanted to get the first turn, and I wanna get down one of your monsters straight away.
Yeah, but as you said, Pisama won't be able to do enough damage, so the Molly has to be banned and Oberon is banned from the side of SAPYN, because if the Molly was let through, as you said, and the Oberon was banned, it was gonna be a walk in the park by ZERPOLITA, but this is gonna be more of an interesting game now.
Yeah, this is looking like a really interesting game. And are we gonna see so much speed difference again on the side of ZERPOLITA? Again with Amelia taking first turn, now going to human form, and he doesn't get the freeze on the side of Bastet. So Bastet moves, Hathor moves, there is the first sleep on the side of Sierra. There is right here the Antares, there is Josephine, and there's Amelia. So there's even more protection from the Genny Hathor, but is it gonna be enough? I'm very curious about that.
And this time Antares is definitely doing more work than the first game. We already see 2 procs coming in from him, and if I was SAPYN, I would have been a little scared of this. The Josephine with the counter stun, and she has the glancing hit debuff on her, but she doesn't care that S1 doesn't glance. And the Amelia is still choosing not to go for the cleanse because she's waiting for the AoE stun, AoE sleep, I'm sorry, from the Hathor. And Sierra is slowly going to be able to get back her cooldowns.
Yeah, she is, and what is huge in this situation is this Amelia being so fast. This Amelia outspeeding both the Genny and the Hathor, making sure that she is able to put up this immunity, making sure that this Hathor third skill always gonna look at these blue markers of immunity, not having that much impact. There is slow, there is stunts on the side of ZERPOLITA. It's gonna be hard for SAPYN to get back from this.
And the proc to put salt on the injury of SAPYN. And Sierra suddenly has all of her cooldowns back. She's gonna be able to detonate the bomb. And ZERPOLITA's Josephine once again popping off with another proc. She has the passive, she has the S2, but she's choosing to try a stun on the Hathor, which is failing.
Yeah, this Josephine does so much work, gets so many turns.
Oh my god, that Genny explodes, and that violent proc is something you didn't want to see.
No, you didn't want to see there. And there is, my monster is sleeping, but with the Amelia, I don't want that. And also, my Sierra was sleeping, but you know, I'm gonna just take the passive of Pisama. You're gonna wake up my Sierra.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be a turnaround on the field.
ZERPOLITA using the Pisama of his enemy to his advantage. That was a great play and a very solid 2-0 coming in from ZERPOLITA.
Really solid 2-0.